Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about debugging your P80 Glock 43, and specifically I'm going to be focusing on the firing pin stuck forward problem. Okay, so let me fire a couple of shots. I'll show you what that looks like. Here we go. So I fired 2 shots, and you can see that the firing pin, which is right there, right, is protruding out, right, and it's preventing the case from coming up because the case is trying to slide up and it's catching on that firing pin right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me give you guys really quickly, I'll give you guys the answer, and then for those of you that want to stick around for the video and hear some more details, I'll be happy to oblige you. So let me get another firing pin out. There we go. So the way I figured this out is by looking at, this is your Glock 17, 19, 26 firing pin, right? You can see how that's got like a little bit like an arrowhead, right? So because it's got like an arrowhead, what happens is when the case comes up, right, it comes up, the rim hits that and it hits that angle and it pushes your firing pin back, okay? With the 43, which is on top here, you can see it doesn't have that sharp angle. It's more of a nipple. There's barely an angle there. There's a little bit of an angle, right? But there's barely an angle there. Okay, so what's happening is on the 43, as the case is coming up, it's hitting that and it's getting stuck underneath it. Okay, and it doesn't matter what ammunition you're using, brass, premium ammo, doesn't matter what bullet weights you are, doesn't matter what magazines you're using. I got Glocks, I got Pro Mags, I got ETS. It's gonna come up and it's gonna hit it. So the solution, really simple. Take this Dremel bit here and file it at an angle, okay? Just file it at an angle like that. Okay, now this one in my hand here, get the glasses off, is the one that I've actually repaired. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to put in the gun because that's already got the angle cut. All right, so it doesn't need to be a crazy angle, it just needs to be a little bit of an angle. Okay, I'm going to take out the one that's in there and I'll do a quick comparison for you guys. I made another video that was like really long and drawn out, so I said, let me make a short video that just kind of gets straight to the point. Maybe I'll just upload both videos. Okay, so these are both Glock 43 here. The one on the top is the one I had in the gun. That's the one that just jammed it. The one on the bottom, all right, the one on the bottom is the one where I've kind of cut it at a little bit of an angle there. All right, so what happens, let me get it. I know I dropped one here somewhere. Oh, hey, I found another one. So what's happening on the top one, as it's coming up, it's getting stuck there like that. Whereas on the bottom one now, as it's coming up, because it has a little bit of an angle, it's going to come up and it's going to push the pin back. Okay, I had to really think about this, how this was working, because like normally you think that when your slide goes forward, you think that your firing pin lug is going to catch on the cruciform over here, and that's what's going to pull your firing pin back. But that doesn't happen until the slide goes a little bit more forward. At the point where your case is coming up, right, and it's trying to feed, the cruciform hasn't pulled your firing pin back enough. Okay, so that's why I was having this problem. And there's the fix. I mean, it's an easy fix once you figure out what you got to do. Okay, the hard part to fixing these guns when you're trying to build them is knowing what the problem is. Once you know what the problem is, the solutions are usually pretty easy. And the Glock 43s have been pretty easy to build. I haven't had to do any work on the rails on both of them that I've built. I've got this one over here. I've done a few videos already on this one. This one I got lucky with this one. I didn't have to do any work at all, including the firing pin. That was just working perfectly. Didn't have to do any work on the rails. The second one didn't have to do any work on the rails, but I did have this issue with the firing pin. It took me about 2 days to figure out what the problem was, why it was getting stuck. I had to go back and look at my Glock 17, try to figure out what makes that work, what pulls back the firing pin. Because I just assumed that it was the sear, the firing pin was getting pulled against the sear, and that's what was pulling it back. But that doesn't happen at that point. Let me get back in, there you go. All right, so we got now the one I put in here is the modified one, the one I got with the angle. Put this gun back together. Let me just confirm I put the right one in there. Yeah, this one doesn't look. Yeah, I mean the one that this one's not modified. It's got a little bit of an angle, but it's just not aggressive enough for you know. And here's the thing: the part that you really need to work on, right, is not the part near the front. It's the part more towards the back. The front already has a little bit of an angle. It's getting stuck back here. So you just got to bring this back just a little bit back over there so that it'll slide off. Glasses up. Other thing I did is I did polish the plunger a little bit. I don't think that made much of a difference, but I did give it a polish just in case. Six rounds, all 6 rounds went out. The next one. All 6 rounds went out. Okay, so that's the fix. If you're having a feeding problem with your G43, it is most likely that firing pin is up and it's not, you know, basically it's sticking out and it's not letting the case come up. It's getting stuck underneath the firing pin. Just trying to see something. Yeah, I'm just looking at the point where the sear, yeah, at the point where the cruciform and the lug interact, the gun's basically almost closed. So yeah, that's not gonna pull that firing pin back. The case itself has to come up, or the cartridge itself have to come up and push back that firing pin. So yeah, that's what it's going to take to fix. It's got an easy fix. You just got to know what it is. Other issue that I had with the G43 build, the first one that I built here, I had an issue with the magazine release button. What I found is that on this side it wasn't coming all the way through. I mean, it was coming out enough so it would catch it, but when you're firing the gun, it would release it. So what I had to do is I had to just basically lightly filed off a little bit material on the magazine release to make sure that it sits flush on the gun. So that's the one I'm carrying now. On this one I had a different issue. The issue I found was with the Glock mags were going really tight, and then to get them out, like I had to really push the button really hard. So the Glock mags, factory Glock mags, would not release. The ETS mags did not have a problem because ETS mags are just a tad bit thinner. So what I did is I took the file, right? I took off the slide, right? And then basically I just ran this file up against the magazine release button where, you know, the magazine catch, and I filed it down just enough so that it would work with both guns, with both magazines rather. Okay, so you don't want to go too far because you want it to work with both ETS mags, factory Glock mags, Pro mags, 10 round Pro mags. You want it to work with all your mags. So do it a little bit at a time. Just get it to the point where it will work with everything. Other thing to be aware of, okay, and I've noticed this with these G43s, is when you're shooting the gun, right? Now this is a Glock, this is a factory mag, right? Take my glasses off. Okay, it's burning the front of the magazine over here, okay? It's burning it. And as it burns it, it makes it stick out a little bit. You can easily take a file and file it down a little bit. The factory Glock and this P mag, right? It's doing the same thing over here, but these have a steel insert, so it will just basically burn it down to the point where it meets the steel, and then it's not going to affect it anymore. So you can see with this one, it's kind of, the steel is starting to get a little bit exposed over there. With the EPS ones, because they don't have that steel insert, right? You know, you can see how they're burning in the front over here. See how that's burning in the front over here? Okay, again, you can file it down. I don't know if this is, you know, because I'm thinking at some point it will just stop it as this goes a little bit lower. It would have to get down pretty low. Like, it would have to go like, what you see where the bottom of the follower is over here? It would have to get to that point down here where the follower is actually coming out, where it would, for it to actually make a difference. But just be aware of it. And for those of you guys that have a factory Glock 43, do me a favor, look at your magazines and let me know if you're seeing a burn on the front of your magazines, and just post something in the comments below. I'm just very curious. I want to know if this is a problem specific to the Polymer 80 Glock 43, or if it's like all you know, Glock 43s in general that will burn the magazine in the front. So by the way, if you guys like this color camo, I got this from Arms or Ally. Weird name, but yeah, if you Google it, you'll find it, Arms or Ally. They have some really nice frames, nice colored frames. They're $150 for these frames, different colors. I got a titanium blue one. I got like a red camo one. So they got some really cool colors. I plan to do a video just on them. They don't get paid me or anything, but I think it's just a great resource for you guys to have. So yeah, this is, I love this. I love this frame. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Do me a favor, you know, like the video, post some comments, because by you guys posting comments, it pushes the YouTube algorithms, and it will become more of a suggested video. And I don't make any money on these. This is not a monetized channel. What I want to do is I want this video to be seen, so people will build more Polymer 80s, right? And you know, part of the reason why I've been doing lots of videos on building Polymer 80s is I want lots of, you know, I want everybody building Polymer 80s. I want to put thousands and hundreds of thousands and hopefully millions of these into circulation. The goal here is to put so many of these into circulation that the Supreme Court will consider them common use. Okay. So that's the goal with these Polymer 80s. Get as many of them put into circulation, as many of them built, so that they cannot be banned. Okay, that's the goal here. So again, thanks for watching. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.